And a very warm welcome, pool fans, to Pro Billiard TV and this 2026 Pro Billiard Series event coming to you live from the heart of Rome at the elegant Cavalieri Waldorf Hotel. It's day 6, a penultimate day, and we kick off Table 1's action with a great prospect ahead. It's the quarterfinals of the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships. Both these players in title-winning form so far. Che-Yu Chao, otherwise known as Rita, taking on Shasha Liu. And this is races to 4, slightly longer format here, best of 5 sets. It's winner breaks, shot clock in play. And as you see from our official referee, Kyle Richards of Canada, it's hand racking. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me in the box for this quarterfinal, my good friend and colleague, Tim de Ruyter. Welcome, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Geth. Looking forward to this match. Rita winning the Fujifilm Women's Masters Showdown together with Christina Takac yesterday. So she must be finding some form in this tournament. But on the other side, Shasha Liu with a brilliant performance against Siming Chen in the last 16 of the World 10-Ball Championship. So difficult to pick a winner. I'm looking forward to this one.
Me too. And it looks like Shasha's won the lag and will get us kicked off in this opening set, breaking from her side of the table.
Well, how about this for a start? Does get a shot on the 2, maybe from the 2 to the 3 ball, a bit tricky, but she's made a ball and she has a chance early on.
Yeah, we've seen in a few matches previous, players just struggling to get to grip with the break from the opener. Not a problem for Shasha. It is a little tricky cut on the 2.
Yeah, not sure if she's able to draw away from the 4. I don't think so. Maybe she could play extreme draw and draw off the 4 ball. That could work. This, but then a bit more energy onto it, so the run out is not gonna happen.
No, but I will say, Tim, you and I had the pleasure of watching her performance against Chen yesterday. It was a sterling performance at that, and she was taking her offensive opportunities when they were there. We didn't get to see as many safety encounters. And I was just looking at that 3 ball. That's not going to be safe, Tim.
No, definitely a great chance for Cho. First mistake of the match by Liu. Might be able to run into the 5. If she feels like she cannot hold the cue ball, she could run softly into the 5. Honestly, kind of depends sometimes with the extension on there, on the cue, to just softly spin this ball in. Can be a bit tricky. The cue now a lot heavier. Oh. She did not run into the 5. Now, the reason why I did like to go into the 5 is because I would get the angle on the 4 to the other side. Now she looks like she's gonna hit the 9, and the 5 so far doesn't go to the same corner as the 4. So she might have to use the 9 to get on the 5 ball.
Just like that, Tim. Fantastic. That's exactly what she needed to do to get the 9 out of the way.
Yeah, has opened up the rack. Also has pushed the 9 ball a bit more over the corner, so doesn't have to do as much traveling from the 8 back up table for the 9.
Yeah, that early unforced error from Shasha with the attempted safe. Being jumped on. Little straight.
Yeah, not sure. She'll have to draw straight back or maybe cheat the pocket slightly to the left and draw over to the right side of the 10. And the second one is the one she's played. It's difficult for us to call the shot when she might have a little angle, yes or no. But she's on the 10 ball first. Would be a strong run out right off the bat for Cho.
Yeah, agreed. And looking to continue the way she was playing yesterday evening in the doubles final. That shot to release the 9 to make the 5 available and leave on the 5 was that real killer shot in that run out. And we'll get to see Cho's break now in this winner breaks format. Her opponent making a ball off her first break. It could come down to such fine margins as that, Tim. Good look at the Arcos balls there lined up. Breaking from the opposite side to her opponent.
Yeah, everybody does have their preferable side. On the other side, I kind of like if I see my opponent already getting a ball in from the opposite side, I might not hesitate. I might try to copy the exact same thing. No guarantees, never, but...
Well, I think that one ball has just pushed up far enough to not consider for the side pocket. It would be very thin. I'm not sure much value in it either. Can she push it around the 9?
Well, can indeed run the cue ball softly into the 7-2. Doesn't really have to baby the ball as much. I actually think she still had more speed, more pace in the cue ball to freeze up on the 7.
Yeah, just a couple of shots not going her way. It is covering the path to pot this one ball, but a one rail escape and she might be able to freeze the cue ball. Oh, that's worked out nicely. That looked to be the shot she was playing as well. Focusing on the cue ball, knowing that the one was going to come back up the table. That's a great result. It's a tricky one here for Shasha. And I say that, Tim, just because of making contact, it looks difficult to find any cover. Oh. It was a really good hit. She called the top left as insurance and wasn't far away from that either, but the cue ball's found the top right corner. As we can see from the replay there, great contact on the 1. But the cue ball... Oh, Tim, that's a bit unfortunate, really.
Well, there was also many kisses on the 4 that could have worked. So, overall, surprising to find the exact nudge of the foreign scratch. Now, big stroke coming up. Looks like she's going to draw all the way straight back up. Easy to run into the 7-9 or the 6, actually.
There's a pretty good spread of the balls, Tim. This could be the most crucial shot of this rack. Oh. That's a lovely result. Great draw. Ooh. That came out a little sharper than she intended. It was in danger of running into trouble with that 8 ball. I think it's just stopped short enough. Yeah, could see it well. Found a lovely gap for the cue ball. And she really has put herself in great position in this second rack. Looking very determined. And again, forcing an error from her opponent. A little shake of the head. Maybe a little bit more angle than she wanted on this 5. Just needs to hold the cue ball off that long rail for the 6. She's done that very nice with some check side. Strong stuff.
Yeah, of course, a really strong opening rack from Cho. Maybe clinching a bit of momentum early on. I have to say, overall in the World Women 10 Ball Championship, I felt like Cho really wasn't up to par yet. Like she really needed a lot more match play to get into her own capabilities, her own form. But if she starts to play like this, she might be playing for the title, Geth.
Yeah, I mentioned in the intro, both are in title-winning form. And Cho has been picking it up as the tournament has progressed. I can't help but think this may or may not be the case, but after picking up the doubles championship last night and a tidy prize pot, she may just think everything else is a bonus from here on out and just let it all out.
Well, not a very bad bonus, to be honest. She's already guaranteed $8,250 to be here in the quarterfinals. And she won the double, so that payday will be quite useful for her. And what a run out. Especially look at this draw. That was a big key shot right off the bat, and she hit it perfect.
And she gave herself a little scare getting position down for the 3, but recovered beautifully and held this cue ball off the long rail for the 6. She made that look easy as well. And looking strong out the gate, 2-0 lead, Tim. We have 3 other quarters underway. We've got Sosoa taking on Ruben and Aramith. Sosoa's 2-0 up in the opening set there. Chihiro Kawahara. She's taken on another Filipino, Cheska Centino, the defending champion, leading 2-0. Chihiro is there. And in the final quarterfinal underway, Margarita Fefilova. She's trailing 1-0 to Chihua Chen. If you want to keep an eye on the scores coming in, please do visit ProBilliardSeries.com. But we are also streaming all 4 matches on Pro Billiard TV. Cho to break.
Yeah, a bit of a roll not to leave something on the one. I mean, that's the case most of the times. Breaking from the side rail, the one ball is going to track up table, so the odds are quite high not to leave something on the one ball.
Yeah, as you saw from the replay, the one took a very nice bounce off the side pocket, and it was tracking towards the opposite side pocket before the three bumped it out the way, and the one ball's now ended up where a push could be played, but I didn't know if Shasha was weighing up the option to go at it off the rail. She hasn't. She's playing the push.
Oh, she was looking to play for a jump, and that double kiss has left Rita almost straight in. Shot on the two. Everything is wide in the open. Nervy start for Lou, but I can imagine also she did not get any table time.
Yeah. Good point, Tim. And bearing in mind a couple of her safeties haven't worked out, or rather one safety, one escape, she may just be feeling a little cold in her chair and frustrated. But Cho isn't going to worry about that. She's left herself good on this three to draw back for the four. Left a little bit of an angle, Tim. She may need to leave a longer five on here. I'm not too sure if there's any value in swinging the cue ball around the table. There is traffic to contend with.
Yeah, will she play low left? Trying to get closer to the five.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think she's straight enough for a low right and just stay to the left side of the six ball, yeah.
Shasha's unable to do anything from her chair, Tim. Cho's game plan of run out at any opportunity is certainly working well for her at the moment. And I have to say, quite reminiscent of the match we had with Shasha yesterday. Shasha was doing exactly this as well, running for fun and finding the right angle on each shot. So we know that she's capable of doing exactly the same. Oh, just having a look. I think she may try to freeze the cue ball here. Oh, no, she's going to bring it back around the 10. Just a little risky, bringing the 10 into play.
Yeah, it did land a little bit in between, and also with the angle running towards the right, was most likely going to put the cue ball closer to the rail. We'll have to choose for the 10 into the middle. Unless, well, she's jacking up, wow. She must be feeling very confident. Punch the cue ball out, 10 to the bottom right. Her pace is very strong at the moment. If you look at how often she gets on the proper side of the ball.
Great to watch. World-class pool. I'm sure the statistics are going to back that up as well. But what a way to put yourself on the hill in this opening set. I have to say, Tim, I can't fault anything so far from her.
Yeah, Predator Black series in action together with the Air Rush and the Beaker Rush, aiming to make a ball on the break to close out this opening set. And kind of feels like Sasha didn't get to the table. Okay, she did get to play safety twice, I believe, but not too many innings at the table. Down goes the one and the two. Well, she would have maybe loved to have the 2-ball stay up. She's hooked on the 3-ball.
Yeah, the 3 has just run on the 6 blocking her path. Not too sure what the options are for playing the push here. She's laid a cue up there on the long rail, maybe looking just to leave an edge for Sasha. Maybe a teaser.
Oh, well, I don't think she's gonna have that little edge. But also, if you look at the little detail, Rita trying to also bring the 4 together with the 9, and that's why she lost the cue ball a little bit. She didn't feel like just to roll up on the 4.
I have to say, I do like that though, Tim. There are so many opportunities when you are in the position to play a push shot. So many options for you. I do think tying up balls, unless there's an obvious reason as to not, I think that's always a good plan. How she ended up here. Good thick one-rail escape.
Yeah, tried for cover behind the 10, or maybe the 3-ball could have been stopped by the 5, so just a little unlucky to find a window. Now is Sasha going aggressive on this 3-ball? Yeah. Top right spin, this is a big shot. She probably feels like she'll have to turn things around.
Oh my. She's played that to perfection and may even play to have a little rub off this 9-ball to encourage the cue ball over for the 5 following this 4. That's a great shot.
Well, this 5-ball is a nervy one though. It's not just to make the ball. She'll have to draw back not just the diamond, but definitely, let's say 2 diamonds, a little more. Specific shot. This one rattles quite often if you just slightly touch the rail.
Oh, you picked up on that well, Tim.
Yeah, she also looked at putting the cue ball a bit more over to the right. I didn't feel like she had the angle to, so just skimming the left long rail.
Oh, Joe looking to use the 10 to hold the cue ball, and that's worked out really well. There's always a danger that 10 was going to drop in front of the 6. quality. But not hard enough on this occasion. Looks like she's brought a jump stick to go over the edge of the tent. It's quite a reach.
And what a recovery. What a recovery. Speared it in, stops the cue ball, and back on track to take the set.
That is a highlight shot right there. What a recovery as well. I really didn't think she was going to be able to reach that. And straight into the pocket where her opponent is sat, looking right down the barrel of. Ooh.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Never in doubt. I have to say, when I saw that cue ball running on a little bit, I thought, oh, that's just added a little bit more spice to that 10 ball. That opening shot from Shasha deserved to be her first point on the board, in fairness. And as you suggested, maybe just asking a little bit too much, cheating that pocket. But even with getting herself in trouble, Cho has cleared them up, takes the opening set, and, well, we take a little view over and a dear friend of ours, Alex Laley, Tim. I believe he lives in Italy now.
He certainly does. Yeah, good to see him. It's been some time. Now, look at these stats, Kath. 897 player overall performance for Chiu Cho. I mean, I'm not going to say Shasha cannot win the match, but she'll have to play, well, close to perfect to make a difference so far.
Yeah, be interested to see what our stat man, Mike Salmon, has to say with regards to Shasha's stats from her last 16 match. But yeah, one thing to note, it's not a semi-final, people, it's a quarter-final. But while we just look at the statistics, our players have taken a timeout. Myself, Gethin Davis and Tim DeLauter will take a small timeout with the players. We'll be back very shortly for more exciting action, and we'll take on this second set. Don't go anywhere. And as the players return, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this quarterfinal matchup at the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships. And this a matchup between Che-Yu Chao and Shasha Liu. And a quick summary of the opening set. It was all Chao playing in formidable form. My name is Gethin Davis, joining me back for the start of this second set, my dear friend Tim Derauter. Well, Tim, I'm not sure where Shasha can get back into this yet, and it is Joe's break. What are you thinking?
Well, the only thing I'm considering is we have seen a couple safety mistakes from Shasha, which could have put the brakes on Cho. So in that case, well, the only thing Shasha can tell herself for this set is, hey, let's try to lock her up a couple times more often and see where that ship brings me. Now, does make the one. Pretty locked up on the two.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I could say about that break. This is awful. Guaranteed playing the push. Ooh, I'm not sure if that has tied the 5 up. It certainly did do for the bottom left pocket, but it may still pass the 10. And this 2 is on. We saw Shasha take on a much more difficult shot than this in the last rack of the first set and make it in flying form.
Well, that might be the first shot she made in a long time, but nice and clean, perfect on the 3-ball. If the 5 does go to the bottom right, a wonderful chance in the making for the Chinese.
Lovely opening shot. Going in with confidence, using the 7 as a blocker to stop the cue ball for this shape on the 3. That would indicate the 5 does pass the 10. As you can see there, it clearly does. Good opportunity now for Shasha. She would really like to kick off this second set with the first point on the board. She's done all the hard work, I feel, Tim. Just stretching over the 9, but doesn't need to do too much with the cue ball if she doesn't want to.
Well, the only thing I was looking at is possibly the 8-ball, 8 to the 9. The 9 only goes to the bottom left, or to the middle, of course, but preferably bottom left. Could get a bit short. It just depends on how you land on the 8. So if she takes care of the cue ball, you could say the cue ball will take care of her.
Yeah, she's done that well. Can float the cue ball off that long rail back across.
Yeah, it's just the pace. It's easy to run suddenly too far. Now you're on the rail cutting the 9 big time or coming short. But as you can see, even though she barely had to make a ball in the opening set, Her speed for the table still is there, so the opening rack going to Shashalu in the second set.
And that will be exactly what she would have been hoping for. She returned to the arena from her timeout. And we will get to see Shasha's second break of this match only after winning the lag and opening the first set. We've yet to see her back. And I do believe she's on a 100% success rate after making a ball on that opening break. So if there's a chance to swing momentum, this is the first opportunity she's had. And no early set results out in our other quarterfinals. So as 3-1 up on the hill against Rubel and Aramith in their opener. Chihiro Kawahara, Cheska Centino locked at 2 apiece. And Chiawa Chen is 3-0 up over Margarita Fefelova. And as some first set results come in, we'll keep you updated as we just look on at Carl Richards, our Canadian referee, making sure he gets that rack just perfect for Shasha. And Shasha may not get many moments to turn momentum around him. She's fought hard for this one.
Well, nothing going in. What do we have on the one ball? Do we have an easy safety behind the 7, or is it a bit straight?
Let's have a look. I would say it looks a bit straight, but there are other options. Cho just coming back across the table to line up where she wants to put that cue ball. And as you said, Tim, we've not really seen any safety battles yet. It's been all out so far. It'd be very nice to see an exchange of safeties between these two. Their safety-making capabilities up there. It's their escapes that really do intrigue me. They seem to play escapes and get into safe positions on many occasions. Oh, she went for that.
Yeah, actually a really good try. It wasn't too far off. If she had made the 1, she could have played a good safety on the 2 ball as well, so it was worth the risk. Is she going to power draw this? Is she going to get the stroke out? No. Make the ball and play safe. What's the save?
I don't know. You say safe, Tim. I'm not sure if she's got the potting angle on this. She may take this on. No, I can't imagine that. Up and down would be the obvious play.
On this, she's had a really small gap to play this because the 6 ball came into play. She needed to create the angle to bring the cue ball into the long rail. A little bit unfortunate to leave a window between the 3 and the 7. The good news is the 4 makes it awkward queuing. So there's a little bit of good and bad.
Very difficult to judge the pace on such long shots, and I tell you what, Tim, she was only just a trickle too much on the pace there. Gives Cho a good chance to return with something a bit tastier. I think she has covered half of this blue two, but not full cover.
Well.
Double. Yeah, that double kissed him. As you can see from the replay, she did not want to make contact with the blue two on the way back up the table, and that's hung it out to dry here for Cho. If you can see where the 4 and the 6 is, Tim, the cue ball's going to need to move up and down the table a little bit. So there's a bit of work to be done here. However, that 6 is in a friendly spot. You have to say, good opportunity for Cho just to snuff out that momentum that Shashao has always threatened to get under her wings, and this could be an important rack for Cho here. She had a good think about that, Tim. She didn't feel she had the angle to get enough on the cue ball to bring it around, so she's taken a thinner cut on this 6, helped by the fact the 6 is quite close to this bottom left corner. But the cue ball's still going to be travelling a little.
Oh. Looked like the cue ball is going to run a bit further, bigger angle on the 7. It's still okay, top right spin to play the 8 in the same corner.
Gave that a thump to get as much energy and action on the cue ball as possible. May have wanted it to come a bit further. It's a thinner cut on this 8. An important 8 calls her extension. Just composing herself.
Oh, she did go at that double pace. I'm not sure if I would have played it that way. The thing is, with how new the cloth still plays, I feel like if she had played it soft, the 8 ball was like most of the time going to slide in. Well, either way, she was supposed to get out there, and she hasn't, so Sasha maybe getting her hopes up.
Yeah. And as we've seen before, Tim, Sasha with the wind in her sails is formidable. I do feel that that opportunity for Cho was a real good one, just to keep her at bay. Now, with this opportunity to take a 2-0 lead, we could see maybe just a renewed spirit from Sasha. And that 10 ball will secure that 2-0 lead. A good response to Cho's first set performance, taking it very comfortably 4-0. And Sasha will return to the table with the break. We do have a bit of news for our viewers. Some first set results coming in. So Soa has taken the opening set against Rubian Aramith, and they are yet to begin the second. Chirahiro Kawahara, well, she's taken on the other Filipina, Cheska Centino, too, in our quarters, and they're locked at 3 apiece, Hill in theirs. That's over on table 4. And Margarita Fefalova wasn't fortunate enough in the opening set. Chewa Chen run away with that opening set, leads 1-0, and they'll be beginning their second set very shortly. But interesting field out there, Tim. 2 Filipinos, one of them a defending champion, but mentor and professor. There's a good chance we could see one of them in our finals. That's not going to keep Sasha at the table. Dry break, a lot of balls moving, quite a lot tracking over to the right-hand side of the table. And no cover for that one ball.
Yeah, this is like safety 101. Everybody's going to realize that even a stop shot is already safe behind the 7. But I think she's going to try and get the cue ball a bit closer. As you could see, a little bit of stun run.
Yeah, we had a little exchange of safeties in the last rack, Tim, but this looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a battle for our players. Just having a look around, the 3-6, a bit of an awkward cluster. The 5 doesn't have the bottom right available. We could be in for a little treat with some good safety play from these two now. Oof. Wasn't far away with that creative escape, Tim.
Yeah, just barely around it. I mean, it's still, if you're a Sasha in this position, you could feel like, hey, I'm definitely going to get back to the table because it looks too messy. And as you can see, Rita, if she can bring the 1 ball 2 rails in between the 5 and the 7 and the cue ball frozen on the 4, we might see some 3 foul action. How's the pace on the 1? Oh, gotta say, it's not perfect. I think you could go over the top short rail and 2 rails. That's what she's looking at. But still, the side pocket point comes into play. The 8 ball comes into play. And imagine if you get another ball in hand. We all recognize the first safety Joe has played.
Ooh. And that one is in a bit of a safety 101 position again, Tim. Second foul will have been called. Cho looking to lock up Shasha again. As you mentioned, Tim, 3-foul rule in effect. And with a messy table like this, not a bad plan of attack at all. Nice. I think she was a little worried then that that one ball wasn't going to make the rail. She seemed to have a double check of it. It did. Legal shot. Difficult one for Shasha here. And as you could hear from the referee, Carl Richards, she's on second foul.
Oh, look at this. Oh, whoa, whoa. Well, of course, the risk to scratch over the right side was there, but it was also over the other side of the back of the one ball. I mean, didn't have to scratch, to be honest. I mean, she's been close 3 times kicking at the ball, but losing the rack in the 3-foul manner.
Yeah, and that just snuffs out that little flame that Shasha was starting to burn brighter and brighter. 2-1. More importantly, in this winner breaks format, Tim, it's Cho back to the table with the break. Yeah. Should be disappointed, Tim, but in this longer format, best of 5 sets, she'll definitely still feel well within this match. Cho trailing 2-1 in the second set, but leading 1-0 with the break. Made the one ball, Tim. Didn't really get any luck with the 2, though.
Well, she might... Well, she's not actually checking to cut this all along the rail. I was thinking she might be able to bank this in the middle and bring the cue ball back up for the 3 ball. But she's going aggressive to the bottom right. Low left spin. If she makes it and gets on the 3 ball, look at the overall layout of the rack. But this surely is missable.
Yeah, it was missable. She did play full-blooded for position on the 3. There was always a good chance that that 2 was going to rattle out of the jaws and stay low on the table, but it hasn't. It's come back across centre table. Yeah, it will go down in the stats as a miss, Tim, but that was a very difficult shot to take on. In contrast, Shasha has opened her account on 2 racks with 2 amazing opening pots of similar difficulty, so we'll just put a bit more pep in Shasha's step. She's got to come around the low side of the 5 here. I don't think she's got the angle to do that. Maybe she can pass the 7 to pot it in the left side. Oh, Shasha. Yeah, put a little bit of extra venom on that. It's 2 occasions now. She's missed shots similar to that. And the 4 ball hasn't gone safe against that short rail. This is certainly attackable. Well, she's having a good inspection. She made the pot look to hold the cue ball to take this 5 onto the side pocket, and that little look away would indicate that Cho's not got this 5 ball on. There is, from an attacking perspective, maybe the option for a cross bank, but she'll be looking to play safe if she can't attack here. And that wasn't a bad attempt. Would have loved that cue ball to hold behind the 9. Good thing contact. But now, an opportunity for Shasha to put Cho in a bit of a difficult spot. Quite difficult with the way the balls are laid out on the table at the moment. Needs to be particular, and that is not going to be. Like I mentioned, not much traffic to aim for. The 7 was Shasha's choice. This has now opened out quite nicely. And although the 9's hampering the 6 somewhat, Cho should be able to find a gap for it.
Oh, this is going to be a big draw, Geth. All the way back where she is now for the 7 in the middle.
Not back enough, unfortunately. Made the pot most importantly, and got a good, decent amount of power, just didn't get the effect off that cue ball that she was hoping for.
I gotta say, I mean, there is always a cut, but this one is steep. I'm surprised she's going at it. Oh, and just missed it on the post. I gotta say, brave attempt, but I don't understand why she didn't play any safety. But look at this, awful close. And she might have gone away, like gotten away with the leave too. I don't think this cut is on.
Well, if it is, Tim, it's going to be as dangerous as the cut that Cho just took on. I don't know if she was eyeing up the cross bank either. But there's not many balls to aim for to get the cue ball into cover. Looked for the 9. Not far off finding it either, Tim. Oh, wonderful reply. That's exactly what she intended. The one rail escape is certainly on as Shasha is lining up, but clearly no guarantees on what she's going to leave for Cho.
Well, decent hit. Flick on the 10. Maybe it feels like a tester on the 7 ball. The problem is for Shasha is that she can play pocket speed to the corner. Rita doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. And that makes this 7 ball a lot easier.
Nicely done. Into a blind pocket. Good pace. She's looking to bring the scoreline back to level, Tim. Shasha will be disappointed to have not really pushed on from that 2-0 lead. And we have it, Tim, 2-2 in this second set. Cho taking the opening set in convincing style, 4-0. I mentioned on our other tables, we had 1-3-3 underway, and it looks like the result has come in on that. And it is in favour of Cesca Centino, taking that opening set on the hill against Chihiro Kawahara. That match over on table 4. And it looks like Soa has taken the opening rack in the second set after winning the first set against Rublev Amit over on table 2. And the remaining match over on table 3, Chawa Chen pushing on from her early set win against Margarita Fefalova. She leads 2-0 in the second set. And, well, Tim, the statistics are starting to really fill up now. Still reminiscing on that opening set from Cho, who finds herself at the table. Big contact again, but nothing dropping. Brings Shasha to the table. And that one ball looks like it did stay out of the way of that 3. Yes, indeed it has. So this is a good opportunity for Shasha to go on the attack. The 1 to the 2 looks very good. The 3 ball slightly hampered by the 6 ball.
Well, to maneuver the cue ball from the 2 to the 3 ball, I foresee some difficulties. She'll have to track the cue ball in between the 4 and the 9. And then, like you said, the 6, depending on what angle you get on the 3 ball, the 6 could come into play quite a lot.
Yeah, you can see Shasha just deliberating that exact conundrum you put out there, Tim. She's looking at the thinner cut from up here, and she's trading that off against finding a gap and avoiding the 6. And I have to say, both do not look easy options at all. Ooh. Has just run out of
Yeah.
pace.
That is trouble. Now the jump cue will be coming out. Could play a stop shot behind the 6, sending the 3-ball 3 rails out. But she has called the bottom left. She's going very aggressive at this.
Oh, Tim, I really did like your option of jumping full in the face and holding the cue ball. I did not feel that that was the time to pull the trigger, especially as that 3 was quite close to the rail and the cue ball has ejected itself off the table, ball in hand to Cho. And that 2-0 lead has not just crumbled away, it could be in threat of being overcome.
Yeah, especially at this scoreline. She didn't have to go aggressive. Not sure if she considered it, but there's always many things to consider with the shot clock being on. Rita a bit straighter on this 4. Would have liked to be a couple balls over more to draw for the 5 in the left middle. So it is going to be the 5 in the bottom right.
Yeah, and just looks like she's given herself the right angle to be able to pop the cue ball across past the 9. She has been looking very good in open play, Tim. Consistency right up there. The live stats supporting that fact as well. Kudos to Shasha. She came out from the timeout, taking the opening 2 racks in this second set, but Rita has not counted herself out at all, and she's picking these off very nicely indeed.
Well, she has to pop the cue ball off the rail to get nicer cueing. She didn't actually, so we'll be cueing off the rail. Always awkward cueing off the rail, but as long as you give yourself a proper angle like she has. Oh,
Yeah,
look at
that's
this.
done.
Space perfect.
Takes the lead, Tim. Has reduced the 2-0 deficit and turned it into a lead. And what a time to do it, taking the hill in this second set. A little bit against the run of play. Well, it felt like it initially, but with a couple of mistakes from Shasha, Rita finds herself back in the lead and in a very healthy position. And for our viewers who have been enjoying this event, and without getting ahead of ourselves too much, if you've got your pencil and pens out, please do put this in the diary. Most of these girls will be returning to Ho Chi Minh City in the 19th of September, where we will have the Poison Saigon Women's 9-Ball Open. And I expect that to be packed with just as many big names, and many of them that we've seen here over the past 6 days. We also have in Ho Chi Minh at that PBS event the Simonis WPA Men's 10-Ball World Championships and also the Box Billiards Mixed Doubles Open. Like I mentioned, 19th of September. Here's an update on the early sets as they've come in. And also, while you're setting your notifications, 5 p.m. today, we will move in to the semi-final stage. Both matches being streamed for you on Pro Billiard TV. Rita to break. on the hill in the second set, leading 3-2 and 1-0. As we just watch the cue ball come to rest, Tim, I'm not sure if that's the 9 covering the 1 or not. Maybe not.
Well, this must be on. She has called it. Is she able to beat the scratch? I think so. Maybe top right spin straight over for the 2 in the middle. Little bit of right.
Looks quite a nice pattern out there. Needs to be careful holding for the 3 from this 2. Other than that, it's looking quite straightforward for her there, and I have to say, without putting too much pressure on Shashat, this could turn into a very pivotal rack in this match. I think 2 sets down would be quite a mountain for her to climb. I was going to say, is she going to have to just draw across the 10? I think she would have liked to have finished straight on this just to float the cue ball through.
Well, this is a lot of traveling to be done. Not just this 4 and the 5. But oh, she's gonna be on top of the 9. Oh, this is one of the rare moments where she has lost the pace on the cue ball. I was just gonna say, to get from the 6 to the 7, for example, is another couple rails, and it's easy to come up too short or a bit too far on one of these shapes. And just when I was gonna explain this, she put herself, well, this is kind of deadly on the 5. Even if she floats it in, she could bounce behind the 10, and otherwise she's gonna be long on the 6. So her odds have decreased quite rapidly.
Yeah, like you said,
but I would love to see her prove me wrong, you know.
Well, she came over to that side of the table, resigning herself to the fact that she was going to have to float that in, as you suggested. This 6 ball now a lot trickier than she'd have wanted.
Oh, hello there. Nice little nudge off the side pocket point. She's on the 7.
And a great pot on that 6. That 6 wasn't easy. Good recovery. And the 7 is obliged with a nice little nick off the knuckle. Ooh, that didn't check enough off the short rail and take the pace out of the ball, Tim. That's gone on a bit further than she wanted. She's played 2 great recovery shots in this run out. She's digging deep for this, Tim. These 2 to bring this second set to Hill and to bring Shashat to the table with the break. Nicely done. We are in a hill-hill situation in this second set, and it would be the difference between Shasha Liu bringing it back to 1 set apiece, or Cheyu Chao, Rita taking a 2-set lead in this best-of-5 set format. This is going to be a big one, Tim. You see a couple of the shots there from Shasha. She needed to dig deep, just losing control of the cue ball on a couple of occasions. But on this occasion, proving no problem. Carl Richards, our referee from Canada, with the hand rack, closely inspecting before he'll let Shasha to the table. And this, a very important rack for Shasha, I feel. Imperative she gets a good break. She started off this match making a ball off the break. Can she do that here? Big contact, nothing dropping. Shasha returns to her chair. Rita has come to the table, and what has she got to look at? As you see from the replay there, nothing threatening a pocket. One is in the open. She called the one into the top right pocket.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta swing at this. This is a chance to win the set. Make this in the top right. Float. You can even play pocket speed. Float the cue ball towards the 6. If you catch the long rail, the one ball might still slide in, but it looks like she's gonna do a bit more with the cue ball. And just missed it, so another lifeline for Shasha. Well, not a successful cue ball. The one ball, I mean, it's in a tricky position. It's not easy for Cho, but maybe she could kick off the side pocket point. I think there's some good things that could happen.
Nice hit, nice result. Not sold out. May find herself in trouble after Shasha's next shot, but as you can see from the replay, played that very well. Was always the chance of the scratch in the side pocket.
Yeah, incredible hit, but the cue ball will be played above the 2 and the 8. Oh, this is pacey. Maybe a little edge for Rita to work with.
Yeah, as you can see from the camera angle there, 3 and the 9 locked together. Didn't know if that 9 went all the way up into the top left corner though, Tim. That would be ambitious. That has worked out very nice. That's exactly what she was playing for, Tim, as well. You may have just heard, called the 4 ball in the bottom left corner as a bit of insurance. That would imply she's looking to make thick contact on this one.
Yeah, she won't be able to put a lot of pace on the cue ball, so not easy to create big distance. Does get a contact. Does she leave something on the 1? She has left a cut on the 1, I believe. But where is the cue ball running afterwards? It's a tricky one, so she's not there yet. This is... I would say Shasha still has a reasonable chance to get back to the table.
Yeah, maybe a chance that that cue ball just locks itself in this bottom left corner. Oh no, it's come out. It's come out very nicely. Not only to leave position on the 2, but as you can see from the replay, has dislodged that cluster with the 9-3. Couldn't have worked out better, Tim.
Yeah, really could not have worked out any better. I actually was expecting to see Shasha back at the table, but now the 5 does go by the 7 too, so not much traveling off the 4. The 7 is over the corner. I fear the worst for Shasha. She might be down soon, 2-0 in sets.
Yeah, Rita just calling Karitas over to clean the cue ball. Spotted something on that. But yeah, Tim. Shasha 2-0 down in sets. It's going to be an almighty performance needed from her to get back into this. However, this deciding rack isn't over yet. But as you mentioned, there's not much out there to cause her trouble. Maybe just her own misgivings possible, but she's played that well to hold for the 7.
Well, she did put herself quite close on the 7. She even played for the 8 into the top corner, which I like a lot. A lot of players were going to play for the 8-9 combination probably. That's where you could lose control of on the 8 ball. So, good choice. Ooh. Oh, she's gonna have to play the 9 to the bottom right. I'm not sure if that was the original plan.
Well, whether it was the plan or not, Chaeyu Chow with this 10 ball to take a very useful 2-set to 0 lead in this thrilling quarter-final, and it was a very good opportunity for her opponent Shasha Liu to fire back, and she'd got off with the best start, winning the 2 opening racks. But Chaeyu Chow has dug deep and has taken a 2-set lead, which will ask some big questions of her opponent as the players will take this opportunity for a small break. Myself, Gethin Davis and Tim de Lauter. We will also take a break too, and we'll leave you just looking at the statistics so you can get a bit of a better insight into the match so far. A little bit more even, I would expect it for this set, but So far, the scoreline all going Rita's way. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly for more action as we kick off our third set. And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this quarter-final matchup at the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships here in Rome, Italy. You join us back for the start of our third set. So far, Chayu Chao has taken the opening two, and it will be Shasha Liu who will get our third set underway. My name's Gethin Davis, back in the box for this third set. My good friend and colleague Tim Denouter. Welcome back, Tim. This is a tough one for Shasha now.
Yeah, it's a long way to go.
Yep, fully agree. Needs a big break. Has made the one. May have a look at the two, but the three says possibly no. As you can see from the replay, just not going Shasha's way, although making a ball off the break. And she's just eyeing up. It looked like where she wanted to play a push to. Push out called. That will bring Rita over to have a look at what's been left for her. She does have the opportunity to give this back to Shasha if she doesn't like it. Starting to really fill up here at the Cavalieri Waldorf Hotel. Free for our viewers to come and watch live if you are in the local area. It is one beautiful venue with a stunning art collection here. It's like playing in a museum. Rita giving it back to Shasha. Shasha going airborne.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive push. Had to bring the cue ball under the 5, under the 10. Just slightly too thin. Like a bump onto the 8 had worked. I think that's the reason why Rita gave it back. It was like, you have to hit it very specific, but if you hit it well, it's going to be a trap. So high risk, high reward kind of push out.
Yeah, there are some occasions where an opponent can play a push and you really don't read what's going on, and you bring them back to the table and they put you in some awful trouble and you kick yourself wondering why you didn't see it yourself. But there's always the right time to give it back to the opponent. And she's followed up that opening pot, locking Shasha up for a look at this 3.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to go at it. Straight down, or maybe 2 rails around the 4, but this slightly easier. Gotta watch the cue ball. Oh, what a result. I mean, maybe she was due to get a result like this. She's down 2-0 in sets, but you know, when you're riding the bad momentum wave, that cue ball would have gone straight into the corner.
I was just thinking the same thing, Tim. If that cue ball had dropped, Shasha would have been just thinking it's not her day. However, played a great jump shot Rita has here, and maybe it's her day. Thin cut on the 4, but let's have a look at that on the replay. There's the thin cut on with the cue ball coming around the table for the 5. Oh, it's checked up a bit too much. Looked like it had the pace to come down far enough for the 5, Tim. It just didn't have the line. She called that and makes the 5. Whoa. 2 great shots. Wasn't necessarily the prettiest of 5s, but it made its way in.
What a player. Just look at this.
She's too quick for our replays. Straight in, making a beeline for this 7. And just adding to the pressure that should be mounting on Shasha's shoulders right now. You wouldn't think it to look at her. But this is starting to look quite dominating from Rita here. And when a couple of shots, like a jump shot and an escape pot, start coming your way, you really do fancy that the momentum is well and truly on your side.
Oh, that did hesitate for a second. Bit thick. Maybe a bit of nerves, yeah. Sweaty hands.
First rack on the board for Rita in the second set, Tim. It was Shasha who got off to a great start, winning the opening 2 and really threatened to get back into this match. But at every opportunity, Rita just seems to be delivering. Great jump shot, great escape onto the 5 to make it in the bottom left corner. Have a look at this. And that cue ball just muscled its way for position on the 6. Big rack for Rita.
Well, like I said, I thought Shasha was riding the good momentum wave at the moment, but everything we've seen after, with Rita jumping that ball in, kicking that ball in, and taking the opening rack, now making a ball on the break and shape on the 2. I feel like Shasha might not be on any wave. Rita might be on the good wave. It's unbelievable what kind of pool we've seen in the past 2 hours almost.
Yeah, I agree. I did have this little feeling in my stomach that Rita would be flying high after the win in the doubles final last night with Christina to catch. Clearly seems to have given her a good uplift. Her play has just been as tight as it was last night. For our viewers who want to watch that back may have missed it. That and the final of our other event, the Predator Wheelchair Open, they're all available on Pro Billiard TV for you to go and watch back at your leisure. And as we mentioned, Tim, a very nice payday for these ladies here, and it gets better the deeper they go. $200,000 prize pot out there for this Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-ball World Champs, Tim. $55,000 for first place. That's why they're fighting hard, Tim.
Well, that is always a tricky question to ask. So I'm going to ask you because I'm curious to see, would you rather pick up 55,000 US dollars or become the Banca del Fucino World Women WPA 10-ball champion?
Well, the fact that we're in Rome, I don't know. It gets quite expensive there if you want to go out shopping. But no, clearly the prestige of taking the title would be up there. I think what I was alluding to is the fact that Predator and our great sponsors, including Banca del Fucino, putting so much money out there, has brought the best players to this event. And it has gifted us with 6 days of great viewing. Still one more day to go as well. Well, I've been talking, Tim. Rita has been picking these off nicely and has just fallen the right side of this 8 as well to not have to do too much. She's really on a stomp. Ooh, is there a little twist? No.
No. Straight in on the 10. Well, she's not just riding the great wave. She's surfing it right now, cruising towards the semi-final. 2-0 up.
Yeah, not giving Shasha a look in. And our astute viewers during the timeout will have noticed that over on table 2 they were taking a timeout. And that was because Sosoa had taken the second set against Rublin Amit. She leads 2-0 in sets. Cheska Centino over on table 4 took the second set there and leads 2-0 over Chihiro Kawahara. And Margaret Fefalova was able to pull back the second set there. She's tied at 1 apiece with Chawa Chen. A lot of action out on our 4-stream tables for you in these quarterfinals. But bringing it back here, Tim, it is difficult to see a way back for Shasha, but it still needs Rita to maintain her composure and deliver. As we've seen so far this week, there have been some comebacks from some very tough positions. But in the winner breaks format, it will be Rita to the break, leading 2-0 in both racks and sets.
And then now finally Shasha comes to the table. And she does get this, well, mainly covered 1-ball. Don't think she's got plenty of options. Can she play real thin behind the 8? But I'm not gonna act like that's an easy shot by any means. We'll have to be very soft. If you catch just a piece of the 10, I mean, how often do you see any fouls on this? Is she looking at something with double pace? I just wouldn't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's got much of an edge at all. Now looking at the push. I think she's called the push out. Carl Richards just repeating that, our referee. That's a tempter, Tim.
Oh, hello. I had to say that kind of safety was like too obvious. I was surprised that Shasha pushed to this position, but look at this side pocket point coming into play.
And looking ahead, that 3 is in an awful position, but only awful for potting. It looks like it's very favourable for playing safe. Shasha may need to do that from the 2 here, though. Yeah, nicely done. Certainly escapable for Rita, but nothing guaranteed after making contact with the 2.
Well, again, that side pocket point trying to spoil all the fun for Rita at the moment. I think this is now twice that the cue ball would have landed safe if we had round knuckle points and not pointy ones. But
Indeed.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, if, doesn't matter.
But she has an angle to come underneath the 3 here, I think. It is available to the top, at the bottom left.
Well, you could consider playing freeze the cue ball up on the 5 just to slow your opponent down. You have to create some kind of doubt in Rita's mind. And if you miss the 3 ball, you're gonna lose a set. So I like this play, you know, you want your opponent to make a couple mistakes, create some doubt, and if you can actually hit a gear and run out a couple times, I think that's probably the best strategy from this point. But I mean, strategy, you're down 2 sets and 2-0 in games, so you're in a bad spot.
No, but you're right, Tim. You're on point again. There have been a few occasions where we've just questioned the shot making, or rather shot decision making. Shasha perhaps picking a couple of wrong shots out, but this was the time to stick Rita in a tough spot. Ooh. Good escape. Nearly got away with finding cover on that 3 as well.
Well, this 3 ball does go into the middle. She'll be on the 4 to the bottom left. She might be opting to play another save. I think at this point she's going to be thinking quite often, okay, if I miss this ball, it might cost me the match. I'm not sure if it's a great thought. On the other side, it will increase her safety play. And like I said, you need to create some doubt in Joe's mind anyways. Well, I said safety. Scrap that. Look at this for a cut on the 3 ball. All the way to the top left. Low right spin. And shape on the short side of the 4. Wow, what a shot. Brilliant.
Yeah, for me, Tim, a highlight shot that was made to look very easy. And she's followed it up now with good position on the 5. Good view of the concentration on Shasha's face. She'd had just a double check on where she wanted to be on this 7 to get the cue ball back out for the 8. As you can see there with the lining up of her cue, she's just looking to leave herself a slight angle on this 8 ball into the bottom left to come out for the 9. It's a little angle, Tim.
Yeah, just a stop shot, I think. Was she running into the bottom short rail? Oh, much better than if she had stopped the cue ball. Float this 9 in beyond the 10. 2-1. Possible break run. 2 each. Makes an exciting third set.
Yeah, indeed. And is just good for Shasha. She has looked very comfortable at the table. Hasn't really looked disappointed of any sorts, but she's not one to really show emotion on her face, Tim. But she will be delighted to get a point on the board there and just slow up Rita getting to the hill. And if she can get to the hill first, there's a very good chance she can pick this one off and just start to get her teeth back into this match. That pot on the 3, really a highlight shot for me, Tim. That really showed the confidence. And winner breaks. We'll return to the table with the break. As we look out over this beautiful Cavalieri Waldorf Hotel, amazing venue. We look at the statistics. Well, top class stuff from Rita. All up there around the 800 and more. Her opening set, nearly 900 on the POP. But for set 3, Shasha, she's sat pretty at 846. And she's just now starting to peach in form. And a good opportunity here to get the scoreline back to level in this third set and just start to eke away at this lead that Rita has got.
Breaking from the center. Oh, big squat, but the cue ball going into the middle. She's done exactly the same against Siming Chen. And also, I remember on that break, she did make a ball. I said, you know, this is brutal. You finally feel like, yeah, I made one. But then you're just a little off square, scratching. Massive impact on the break. Lucky part for Shasha is maybe the 4 and the 9 tied up. The 4 really limited in options. How would you get at the 4? Maybe an angle on the 3 to give the little nudge, or play to the short side on the 4 for the left middle. I kind of like that play.
Yeah, it looks like it's... Unless you can get down above the 8 to play into the left side pocket. I do like your shout about needing to rub into them. It's the angle she's left herself. She could probably take both shots on here. Yeah, she found the gap. Fantastic. Not too sure which way the cue ball's going to run after making contact with the 4, but the 9 could come to her help here, because otherwise she's just going to be running away from the 6 somewhat.
Well, with where the 6 ball is, you would almost say just anywhere is okay. Wow, she's played safe. Honestly, Geth, I have to disagree. I mean, she's played a brilliant cue ball. But the 4 now over the corner. Imagine if Sasha kicks this in, runs out, runs the set. You would feel like you had the chance to put yourself on the hill first. It was on to the middle.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she just felt that 9 ball was not her friend. However, like you said, has played a good cue ball. It does bring Sasha back to the table. And, well, we've seen stranger things happen. But where that 4 ball has finished up, there's a good chance making contact on it will make the pot as well. But she's locked it really close onto that 9, if not even touching. Is she even looking at tying up the 8 and the 9?
Yeah, imagine if she does successfully. Cho might not be able to get the run out in. Well, that's not going to be successful. So it's another chance for Cho. In the end, the safety paying dividends. So, I mean, if you win playing the safe, you were right. I just felt like sometimes I feel like when you have the shot, when you have the opportunity, you cannot just push the opportunity like a couple minutes later over and over. Sometimes it's time to go.
Oh.
But anyways, let's continue. A bit straighter on the 6 maybe.
Yeah, I could just see Rita just willing that cue ball to slow down and leave a bit more of an angle for her. It hasn't. Great view of the line for that 7 ball. Centre pocket. Back in position nicely for this 8 ball, and alarm bells are well and truly ringing for Sasha Liu here. This is starting to look like Yu Chao getting on the hill in a set which, if she wins, will give her the match. That was delicately played, Tim.
Yeah, just barely slid by the 9. And that 9 ball being very, very scary shot to play going forward. Easy to double hit, but straight in on the 10. I mean, she's on a rampage, Geth. There's really not much that Sasha can do. I don't even feel like Sasha played a bad match so far.
That's a great word. Rampage Rita on the hill in this 3rd set. And really not giving much room for Sasha. And it may be a bridge too far for her here, but she'll be looking for an opportunity to get back to the table, Tim. It is a big hill to climb. Just having a look out across the arena. Soa locked at 2 apiece in the 3rd set with Rubel and Aramith. She leads 2-0 in sets. And Chihiro Kawahara 2-1 up on Cheska Centino, although Cheska 2-0 up in sets there. And Margarita Fefalova, Chawa Chen tied at 1 apiece in sets and also 1-1 in racks in that third set. Rita to break, Tim. Could this be the match at this visit?
Oh, the one ball just staying up. Anything else? No. Time to go, Shasha. I mean, we want a close match, not a quick match.
Oof.
Give us what the fans want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It was our opening match yesterday, Tim, you and me, when we got to see Shasha Liu against Chen Siming. And, well, she was absolutely scintillating in that. We know what she's capable of. Looked forever and a day that she was going to bring that form into this match, but Rita has just done a great job in shutting her out. And although the 5 looks a little tricky where it is, where the 4's positioned, Tim, should be good to get position on that 5. It may even pass the 9 from this angle into the right side pocket as a bit of insurance as well. Oh, 7 needed to drop, it did.
Yeah, a little bit more angle on this 2 ball because it stayed near the rail. So she'll have to come off the rail to play the 3 in the same corner. Won't be able to hold for the 3 in the top right. Little detail.
A little rub on the 8 didn't do any harm. This, for me, a key shot in this closing pattern, just making sure she gets where she wants to on the 4 to hold for the 5.
Oh, there was no draw on the cue ball. Did she play for just the 5 into the middle? She might have, but also this not. It's a little bit of a cut. She dropped her shoulders on something too, so this might look a bit worse to her than to us. Uh-oh.
Ooh. Yeah, it was a tricky shot sliding past the 9. I was a bit indifferent like you, Tim, on if she was playing to draw back for the 5 into the bottom right. This 5 hasn't been left on for Rita, though. Can you play it short rail up behind the 10 and just float down the cue ball towards the 8? Not really sure what other safety options are out there apart from maybe sliding off the left side of the 5.
Yeah, either way, could go off the right side as well, playing the 5 just one rail over to the top short rail and cue ball back down table. This is always risky, not guaranteed safe with how open the 5 is, but I think she has cover and the air rush is coming out again.
I did fear that Rita was going to be in for another knuckle on the side pocket, just stumping the cue ball there, but this time just avoided it. And yeah, that's going to send Shasha airborne. Cue ball has gone. Uh-oh. Successful with the jump, Tim. Missed the pot by quite a way, and how that cue ball's muscled its way into that corner bag, I do not know. Ball in hand for Rita. This could be the match.
Just traveling from the 8 to the 9. And, I mean, if she puts herself nice and straight, not too far away from the 8, no worries at all. She's going to give herself a little angle towards the right long rail to where if she plays with right spin, it helps the cue ball even more down table. No, won't be using the long rail. Straight draw. This is it. If she draws this at least past the 10. She will be in the semi-final. But first, the cue ball to be cleaned.
Yes, our Canadian ref, Carl Richards. Over to make sure that cue ball is spick and span. Rita does not want... Oh, I don't know if she had a timeout to call.
Yeah, I think exactly. And I did check the clock when the referee was cleaning the ball. The clock was still ticking. I'm not sure what the rule nowadays is, because some tournaments, they let the clock go. And some of them, they stop the clock.
Yeah, I don't think they do stop the clock. And I'm not too sure that Rita had an extension to call. I don't think there's any argument there. I'm sure our team on location will glean some more light on that. Maybe they'll even go back just to have a little look at the replay, just to make doubly sure, but as soon as she asked for that cue ball to be cleaned, I was already conscious that the shot clock was ticking. Well, a little bit of drama, Tim, as we look out across the arena. You can see the match underway over on table 2 there.
Well, honestly, I kind of feel like this match doesn't really deserve it, because Rita has played exceptionally well, and for Shasha, I'm not sure if she would even want to win the set like this, you know? So it's a bit of a weird feeling, and I mean, I can understand this discussion going on, so might have to take a look at table 2. I'm actually just curious to see how the score is on there.
Yeah, that's between Sosoa and Rubilan Amit. That's 3-2. Sosoa's on the hill in the third set there. She's in a position to take the match as well. But it is little things like this which can change the shape of a match. I'm not saying with the scoreline where it is, it would have much effect, but... And of course, Shasha indifferent. Staying well out of it. It gives us something to talk about. A little update on the scores. Margaret Fefalofa is 2-2 in the third set against Chiahua Chen, and they're locked at 1 set apiece. And Cheska Centino leading 2-0 against Chihiro Kawahara, and both them players locked at 2 apiece in their third set. So Rita's made her case and returns to a chair. I don't think there can be any argument.
Well, it depends. Maybe the tournament director is gonna come up and make a decision. I don't know. At least the 2 players are talking about it. Maybe Shasha will say, hey, you know, I don't want to take advantage like this. It really depends, I guess. Probably, I mean, if you would be playing Rita right now and you're like literally being demolished, I kind of don't feel like it would matter. So I probably would let her just play. I mean, let's see. Yeah, I can definitely understand the frustration. I mean, it's a crucial moment too, you know, like she's done all the hard work to get this far, but well, it looks like they're gonna call the foul. So this ball in hand for Sasha. Now I hope for Sasha the waiting hasn't really killed her stroke, you know, like sometimes just the whole adversity can cause a bit of a nerve on the first shot you play. Yeah, and she's miscued. Geth, can you believe this? Yeah, and now, like, I mean, from my own personal experience, Rita probably feels on the inside, she feels a bit like...
I caused that.
Yeah, I caused it. She feels sorry probably for the fact this is happening like this now. It's not the ending of the match they would like to see at all.
And there may be another twist, Tim.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'll certainly have a look back on the Pro Billiard TV channel later and watch this match back and just double check, but I am pretty sure she called her extension beforehand. However, did she get any luck on the 9? She may have left only the potting angle.
It's massive, but indeed I think the cut is on. And I mean, what else will you have to play for? Right now, I'm just swinging. I'm not even looking at the cue ball. Like, that cue ball is going to travel all over the table, and I'll take whatever I get on the 10. I've got nothing to lose at this point. Shashalu. Yeah, there you go. How does she end up on the 10? It's gonna be sweet.
Oh my. Well, Rita's going to have to put that to one side, however difficult that may be for her. She clearly was quite passionate. Oh, let's switch to left-handed. She does. Left-handed 10. Scoreline back to 3-2. Probably not in the fashion she was hoping for. But pool is a wonderful game like that, Tim. And there's still a little bit of life left in this third set. And who's to say we'll be moving through to a fourth or not? We will wait to find out. And as we had the opportunity to bring you some updates with the scores from our other quarterfinals, just a few points of note if you want to go and watch back any of the matches that have taken place. A fantastic final in the Predator Wheelchair Open. I will give you a bit of a spoiler. It was Henrik Larsson that did win it. And obviously yesterday in the Fujifilm Women's Double Showdown, Rita and Christina Tkach took a very impressive win over Sosoa and Savannah Easton. Great to see them two young ladies making the final as well. Now, Shasha to the table, trailing 3-2 in a must-win set.
Yeah, again, breaking from the middle, trying to make something happen. And something does happen. The 8 goes in. Maybe a shape on the 1 ball. What can she play for?
I'm not too sure. Maybe a combination on the 4, but that's very aggressive. You may have just heard a round of applause in the background. Rubel and Aramith has brought the match against Sosoa, their third set, back to Hill. It's really heating up out here at the Cavalieri Waldorf Hotel, Tim. We've got our fair share of it here on our table. Oh, that was brave.
Well, and also she did kind of tie up the 7 and the 9, but she has left an angle on the 1 to open up the 7 and be on the 2. And that is going to open up the rack, I feel. So another chance for this Chiu Cho.
Yeah, indeed. A little bit hampered with the 9 ball here. May just look to freeze the cue ball, which will stay high on the 3. But there's a good chance it will leave the cue ball on the rail, Tim. And that will make that shot very difficult. Wow.
Yeah, she dug way too deep. Okay, she's still on the cut. You would say she's guaranteed on the 4 unless she finds a way to hook herself behind the 9 again. But make the ball. She's missed a cut like this before. Bit thinner that time. And she's on the 4. Now, can she go rail first? Rail first, slide by the 6 and scoot over to the right side of the table for the 5. Or maybe even cheat the pocket with left spin.
Yeah. She was able just to cheat it and get around the 6. Opening up to be a good opportunity, but still she just needs to put that little bit of drama in the last rack behind her. And very nicely done. Shasha maybe resigning herself to a result here.
Well, I mean, of course, we've had the whole controversy, but you still got to be honest. I mean, she just played a phenomenal match. She didn't finish it last rack. She's done it this time. She's straight in on the 10.
Indeed, Tim. And a lovely hug between the two. Warm embrace. Big congratulations to Che Yu Chao, who puts herself into the semi-finals and with a chance of picking up that first prize of $55,000. Commiserations to Shasha Liu. She will exit this Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships event, but she does pick up a very tidy prize of $8,250, which will be very welcome. However, coming up later today, we will be moving on to those semi-finals. That will take place at 5 p.m. local time. That's a little 3.5 hours from now. And we will return tomorrow for the finals of this Banca del Fucino World Women's Championship. That begins at 1:30 tomorrow. If you have been enjoying our live streams that we're bringing to you free, please do like, share and subscribe. You can also set your notifications for the up-and-coming matches. My name's Gethin Davis. It's been a pleasure to be joined by my colleague Tim De Lauter, who I believe is coming back for those semi-finals. And a big thank you to you all for joining us. We look forward to having you back shortly later today for more action here in this Pro Billiard Series event. Thanks ever so much.